Thank you so much for joining us today. So probably tell people who you are and what you do.
My name is Akinyi Odongo, OGW. I am in the fashion space, a multi-pioneer in different aspects of fashion. I run a fashion school for kids and grown-ups. I have a high-end fashion brand. I mentor and coach young designers across Africa and the Fashion Agenda Africa, and many others that I may not be able to mention right now.
So what does this event mean to your brand?
This event to me was purely on Fashion Agenda Africa, where we mentor and nurture young creative designers across Africa. Fashion Agenda Africa has partnered with East Africa Textile Leather Week as a partner that would continually work with it in regard to having more designers coming on board and creating spaces for them. Sometimes young designers are not able to even pay, for the stand. And then Fashion Agenda then comes in to be able to provide that platform and creates an opportunity for them to network.
So what are some of the steps being taken to promote sustainability and ethical practices within the fashion industry?
I think that's a question that is very personal, and also it depends on who you're asking, because I can't be able to speak on behalf of others. But as a brand under Akinyi Odongo Kenya, we are a slow fashion brand. We are not a fast fashion, meaning that whatever we do it intentionally and make things that we are able to sell and things that are of high quality and can be used and reused for quite a long time. We don't encourage just turnaround of styles and fashion that will be able to be used and dumped. So we carefully put our things together and create pieces that when one buys, they are able to use it for quite a long time. And I want to believe that there are many other designers and many other brands that are doing the same. We've done this for the longest time. We've been in business over 20 years, just ensuring that we are not, how we manage our waste, how we regenerate what we already have, how we repurpose and all that. It's part of our brand identity as well. So it's something very close to our heart, and we continue building and making sure that we don't have so much waste in our production as well.
So Talanta Hela was launched just the other day and you are part of it. So is there something set apart for the fashion industry?
Not the Talanta Hela initiative has been I think it's an agenda that the current government has looked into, and for a long time we haven't found. Other governments have tried, but with this particular one, if you look at the better plan of what they have, and also the agenda that they have, agenda number 5, or where you take care of the youths and the creative and all that, I think it's a good place to start, to have a government that is looking into the creative space. And just 2 weeks ago, we were able to launch the Talanta Hela initiative at State House, and just having the president sit down and watch and see what creative is all about. And the fashion section, which I was in charge of and created and curated, I was able to bring in the pageantry sector, bring in the fashion designing, bring in the modeling, the styling, the makeup, hair and beauty, and a number of things. And out of that event, I'm sure that the government was able to get clearly what that whole fashion, all that value chain of the fashion space is. And we are looking forward to continuing the conversation further and see what are some of the policies that needs to be, what are some of the challenges that we have in the industry that the government can be able to step in and, of course, engage with the industry players to be able to create change. And I'm hopeful and looking forward that we'll be able to have a bigger meeting that is just purely fashion, and the president and the ministers will be able to come in and just be able to see how do we bring this industry forward and create the vibrancy that it needs, and also as a way of employment and creating more income and export to the world. Because textile and leather, I think it's a big honor, and mostly whatever is being considered is the things that are being done at the EPZ. Yet there's so much that is being done at the small designer level, that also we need to see how to really put it together and add it to that bigger section that the government looks into. So with the say bottom up, if we can't have the tailor from the village level benefiting from the Buy Kenya Build Kenya initiative, then it means it doesn't really hold water. And the fact that Talanta Hela is about monetizing making money, so monetizing the creativity that we have, then you want to believe that we need to have money in the pockets of creatives. One of the things that we hope to do is to have, how do we make it a policy that every Kenyan has to wear something local or use something local, whether it's jewelry, whether it's a bangle, shoes, bag, on Fridays, a particular day of the week. It means it will trickle down to the tailor, even in the village level. The teachers who are there, every county will be able to promote a number of designers and creatives. So I think the future is bright. It's an opportunity because we had the president here on this particular sector, and I'm sure that there are a number of things that are being organized that to be able to see the benefits moving forward.
Well, that's quite reassuring us that the future in fashion is really bright.
Definitely. I had to make sure that some of the, I've been very vocal in regard to even engaging government, inside that we need to have fashion. If you talk about arts, and sports, mixing arts and sports and all these things, sometimes sports is so way up there, other creative sector get lost. So it's upon us to keep stamping and saying, this is what we need, this is what we are all about, these are the things that we need to do and work on, and we have a very supportive government that is looking into that particular sector as a priority as well. The textile and leather is a priority.
So for us to push that in the fashion industry, so how would your brand do collaborations or partnerships with the media just to spread awareness on the fashion industry?
I think also media has a key role to play. It's a whole combination of many things where the media and the industry players work together. But again, media has to also up their game in regard to seeing fashion as an important, section of the economy that needs to be featured or be talked about. Creative industry is not really, I don't think media houses have looked into it as an important area to really focus into, but I think it's high time we focus because a lot of young people are employed in that particular sector. So I would encourage all the media houses to really take creative industry as a very critical industry with the lack of jobs and all these things, and everybody's getting into their own space to create their own things and create their own items and brands. We need to push more and more brands so that we're able to support each other. There's a lot of importation coming in, so the only way that we can be able to counter that is how do we feature? Do we feature enough designers? Do we feature enough creatives? But are we only doing it in Nairobi, or are you also going to the counties and different sites? And it's an opportunity. It's actually a very fertile ground that hasn't been explored.
Thank you so much for the quite interesting conversation we've had.
Thank you.
Thank you.